Today, we're delving into some intriguing biblical mysteries. Join me as we uncover the truth behind shocking topics like the history of the inverted cross, the Roman origins of Christmas, and the deity associated with child sacrifice in ancient Rome. Relax and let's unravel these myths together.
First on our list today is the Secret of Jesuit. Have you come across this symbol before? You'll find it all over the Christian world, in churches, on altars, and even in ancient tombs. It resembles the letters IHS, but what's its true significance? There's nothing sinister about it. IHS is a monogram, an abbreviation of Jesus Christ's name in Greek. In Greek, Jesus' name is represented by the letters iota, eta, and sigma, which translates to IHS in English. It's a harmless symbol that has been used for centuries and is also the official symbol of the Society of Jesus, commonly known as the Jesuits. This symbol, formerly called a Christogram, features the IHS surrounded by a blazing sun, with the H pierced by the cross and 3 nails at the bottom, symbolizing the nails used in Christ's crucifixion.
Over time, this symbol has gained some notoriety because, since the 16th century, the Society of Jesus has been embroiled in numerous conspiracy theories. In 1551, Augustinian friar George Brown accused the Jesuits of manipulating their way to the top of the Christian hierarchy. This allegation was supposedly corroborated by the Moneta Secreta, a document attributed to the 5th leader of the Society of Jesus, outlining strategies to expand their influence across Europe through any means necessary. The conspiracy suggested that the Jesuits were not solely devoted to Jesus, rather, they purportedly used their Christian facade to pursue power by infiltrating various levels of politics. Additionally, they were accused of undermining colonial efforts in the New World by aligning themselves with indigenous peoples. It's claimed that they instructed indigenous people to fight against Europeans, supposedly to halt the spread of Catholicism. Over time, the Society of Jesus became widely disliked by many major religious groups in Europe. They were accused of exerting influence over various aspects of society, as if they were part of a secretive government overseeing human civilization's development. Whether these conspiracies paint the Jesuits as Satanists or opportunists is uncertain, but the belief in their immense power persists today. They've been linked to the Illuminati and even accused of orchestrating the sinking of the Titanic. According to this conspiracy theory, Jesuits allegedly ordered Captain Edward Smith to deliberately steer the ship into an iceberg at full speed, not for any satanic ritual, but as part of a plot to eliminate their banking rivals. It's a shocking claim indeed. Don't forget to subscribe for more videos like this. The inverted cross. When you come across an inverted cross, turned upside down, what's your immediate thought? For many, it's a symbol associated with the devil, often seen in horror movies and referenced in books. But did you know that historically, the inverted cross held a sacred significance? 2,000 years ago, St. Peter, a prominent figure in Christianity, was martyred on an upside-down cross. Throughout much of Christian history, this symbol represented faith, but in recent times, it's taken on a darker connotation. Who was St. Peter, and why did he face such a gruesome fate? Crucified upside down, imagine the discomfort as blood rushed to his head, while nails were pounded through his feet by Roman captors. Despite the brutal execution, Peter remains revered in Christian tradition as one of Jesus Christ's key apostles and the first pope. However, being a Christian during that era was perilous, especially due to the opposition from Roman emperors who feared the growing influence of Christianity. Emperor Nero is believed to have orchestrated Peter's death. During the 1st century AD, Nero was aggressively persecuting Christians, and Peter, being one of the most devout, became a prime target. When Peter got wind of his impending arrest, he tried to escape Rome. However, on his way out, he had a vision of Jesus questioning his actions. Feeling ashamed, Peter returned and accepted his fate, but he didn't feel worthy of being crucified like Jesus. Instead, he requested to be crucified upside down as a symbol of his humility. The story of Peter's bravery and acceptance of his unusual punishment spread far and wide, and for nearly 1900 years, the inverted cross remained a revered Christian symbol of humility. However, in the last 50 years, perceptions have shifted. Atheists,
Practitioners of the occult, heavy metal bands, and horror movie directors have adopted the inverted cross as a symbol of Satanism, but its true meaning remains sacred. What's really surprising is that many modern religious individuals can't distinguish between symbols. Take, for instance, the 2024 Super Bowl, where rapper Ice Spice sparked controversy by wearing an upside-down cross. She faced accusations of being a Satanist, much like other public figures such as Chelsea Clinton and Melinda Gates, who've been seen wearing similar symbols in the past. However, in all these instances, these women are simply wearing the inverted cross of St. Peter, which holds no sinister meaning. Or perhaps I'm mistaken, and Ice Spice is secretly engaging in satanic rituals with Taylor Swift.
The evil named Krampus. Have you ever noticed the striking similarities between Santa Claus and Satan? Their names are practically identical, just switch around a couple of letters. Santa is known for his red attire, reminiscent of the fiery depths of hell where the devil resides. Both figures have ties to fire, with Santa even emerging from chimneys as if born from flames. Moreover, Santa has become synonymous with greed, evident in the chaos of Black Friday shopping sprees. But perhaps I'm just being silly. Historically, Santa Claus is believed to be based on Saint Nicholas, a Greek Orthodox bishop from the 3rd century. Nothing sinister about that. However, what about Krampus? The Anti-Claus, the dark counterpart of Christmas, seems to defy this innocent origin. In European folklore, Krampus is depicted as a terrifying creature who has zero tolerance for naughty children. Instead of giving gifts, he punishes them with lashings from his brutal whip. A Christmas morning wake-up call nobody wants. You might wonder who came up with such a twisted idea. Well, Krampus is a widely embraced tradition in Central Europe, particularly in Germany, Slovenia, and Austria. Described as a monstrous figure with bloodshot eyes, demonic horns, and a furry black body, Krampus resembles a sinister fusion of goat and demon, a festive twist on Satan, according to Jennifer Billock from Smithsonian Magazine. Legend has it that Krampus is the offspring of the Norse goddess Hel, who is essentially the Nordic equivalent of Satan.
Hel ruled over Helheim, the Viking underworld, and was depicted as a ghastly figure, a blend of a beautiful living woman with a decaying corpse-like lower body. This is where Krampus originated, explaining his terrifying appearance. About 1500 years ago, during the winter solstice, medieval Germans would don suits and ring bells while frightening children. As Christianity gained prominence, Krampus became associated with the legend of Saint Nicholas and the Christmas holiday.
Next on our list is the Pentagram. The Pentagram, much like the inverted cross, has intriguing origins. Next time you notice a friend wearing one, impress them with this interesting fact. A pentagram is a star with 5 points. But why 5? Well, dating back to recorded history, it symbolized the 5 elements of our world. You're likely familiar with the 4 major elements: earth, air, fire, and water, just like the movie Avatar. The 5th point of the pentagram represents the spirit. The 5th element, reminiscent of the movie, the 5th element. The pentagram's earliest known usage can be traced back to ancient Mesopotamia, particularly in the region of Sumer, where the first city emerged along fertile riverbanks and the first written language was developed. This marked the beginning of civilization, at least as we know it today. For the Mesopotamians, the pentagram symbolized Ishtar, the goddess of love and war, and served as a pathway to Ishtar's planet, Venus, among the stars. In ancient Greece, the pentagram persisted as a favored emblem among mathematicians. Pythagoras and his followers used it to denote the golden ratio, a mathematical concept representing perfection found in nature, seen in seashell spirals and petal patterns. As time marched on, from the decline of ancient Greece through the fall of the Roman Empire and into the Middle Ages, Christian symbolism became prevalent. Surprisingly, by around 500 AD, the pentagram had transformed into an important symbol for Christians. The pentagram's 5 points were initially associated with the 5 wounds of Jesus during his crucifixion, much like the inverted cross, making it a sacred symbol. It represented virtues like honor and knighthood. As the Renaissance unfolded, the pentagram took on new meanings. Scholars and alchemists linked it to nature and the elements, paving the way for its transformation into a mystical symbol and a mark of the occult.
Anton LaVey, founder of the Church of Satan, played a key role in rebranding the pentagram as something sinister. In the 19th century, he revolutionized the modern world by establishing Satanism, which continues to be practiced today. LaVey was also the author of the Satanic Bible, a controversial text filled with unconventional teachings and ideologies.
Anton was the first to distinguish between an upright and an inverted pentagram, but it was all his creation. He used the pentagram for his own purposes, similar to how horror directors in the 1970s employed the inverted cross to depict the Antichrist. Let's chalk it up to creative license. The harsh reality is that pentagrams have never been inherently evil. They've always symbolized positive concepts, even for Christians. However, today, the pentagram has become linked with practitioners of witchcraft, Satanism, and worshippers of demons.
And this brings us to the last symbol for this video, Molech. In 2020, visitors to the Colosseum in Rome were surprised to encounter a god many believed had faded into obscurity. As part of an exhibit honoring the ancient city of Carthage, a colossal statue of Molech was set up in front of the Colosseum. Needless to say, this stirred up considerable discomfort among Christians. Molech was regarded as one of the most terrifying, detestable, and repugnant deities worshipped before the rise of Christianity. He held a central position in the pantheon of Canaanites and Carthaginians. It was only after the Romans conquered Carthage that Molech began to lose followers. In the Bible, numerous unfamiliar gods are mentioned, with Molech appearing in Leviticus.
Sometimes referred to as Baal, a name that might ring a bell for you. In modern times, Baal has become associated with one of the evil princes of hell. Leviticus 18:21 states, "You shall not give any of your children to offer them to Molech, and so profane the name of your God." Did you hear that right? Not offering children to a god seems obvious, but why would God need to warn the Israelites against this? The answer is surprisingly straightforward. Molech was a malevolent deity who demanded the sacrifice of children. It's a disturbing truth. Regardless of your religious beliefs, worshipping a god that requires child sacrifice is universally condemned. It's becoming clearer why Christianity gained popularity. People were weary of sacrificing their children to gods depicted as angry bulls. Alexandra Clark shared with LifeSite News that she and her family were thrilled about visiting the Colosseum during their trip to Rome. However, upon arrival, they were shocked to see the colossal statue of Molech standing at the entrance. Alexandra wasn't alone in her outrage. She described the statue as a mockery of the early Christians' martyrdom. In reality, the statue was part of a historical reenactment inspired by the Molech scene in the 1914 silent film Cabiria. It's highly unlikely that Romans are seeking solace from Molech in these challenging times, but stranger things have occurred. And that brings us to the end of this video. Thank you for watching, and may your journey be full of meaningful discoveries. For more content like this, do subscribe and make this channel your home, and share your opinions in the comments.